And with that, the United States breathes a collective sigh of relief. What's up, everybody? It's your boy KLT back for another question of the day. Man, you know, today has been crazy. It's been, everybody's been holding their breath, hoping that nothing happened, but thinking that it wouldn't be the craziest thing if something did. And nothing did. Everything just went on, and, now we're here. We're not going to get political here, so don't worry about it, but it's nice to finally be done with this, and I'm going to take like a whole 1 month juice cleanse of politics. Like, I don't want to hear politics at all until the end of February, period. I want to go back to the worst thing about politicians being like, oh my God, they wore a tan suit. How dare they? But anyways, enough about that. Forget those people. This question of the day is talking about you and I and how we react and interact with other people. The question of the day is, when do you think it is okay to lie? Now, so this is my take on lying. I just don't do it. To me, there's not a reason to ever just outright lie about anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll joke around about absolutely anything because I like, I'm a smart ass. So I'll joke around and just, say things to, rile people up or whatever, like somebody asks me a question, I'll give them a clearly incorrect answer just because it's funny, so like, that's not really lying. That's, just playing around with people. Like, obviously the things that I say aren't true. So, but then nowadays people might actually believe, never mind. Anyways, but so the big problem is that there was I can't remember if it was like a movie or a radio show I heard a long time ago or something, but somebody like in a talk show was like, it takes too much to remember what you lied about. So it's always like, hey, what did I tell this person? And then they ask you about something and then you say something and then you can't reconfirm what you said before. And then they're like, hey, I thought you told me this instead of this. And you're like, oh no, what have I done? Like, I don't have time for that stuff, man. I don't want to be the one trying to juggle all these different stories and try and figure out what I told who and why. Like, that's not for me. So I've just never been a person to just outright lie about anything. I don't like, even like the little white lie, or like, just, oh, I'll just embellish a little bit. Like, man, like, I don't think there's a reason to do any of that. If you ever feel like you have the need to lie, then you could at least, give the answer in a different way, like the famous example is your girlfriend puts on something and she says, does this make me look fat? Instead of saying, yeah, it does, take that off. Instead of saying it like that, you could say, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it personally. Something. It's just anything else. You don't have to like body slam her with the truth, So for me, like, going through life, one of the biggest things, especially when it had to do with relationships, is like the truth and honesty were most important to me. Like, anything else, we can work on, but like being truthful and honest and open was like first and foremost and most important to me. If you know my tragic backstory, you know how that worked out, but it's still something that I would live by today. I wouldn't change the way that I approach things for that. So what I would do is, if people would ask me a question and I would think to myself, the truth isn't very nice here in this position. I used to do this thing where I would say, okay, I know that you've asked me this and I'm willing to answer, but you may not like the answer. So you have one chance to retract your question before I answer it for you. And then, you can kind of infer an answer from there if I'm going to give you that type of like out. But like, some people still wanted to know things, or like ask my opinion on things, or ask me if I know something or whatever. It's not like I would tell people secrets, or like if somebody told me something in and I'm supposed to keep it to myself or whatnot, I wouldn't go tell other people. I wouldn't go gossip about it. That's not how it was. But if it was like, if I knew something or somebody would ask me like my honest opinion on something, I would say, hey, not sure if you'll want this answer, but I'll give it to you. But this is your chance to back out. And, you know, sometimes people took it and they were just like, you know what, never mind, I don't want to know. And I'm like, okay. But then, you know, if people said they wanted to know, they still wanted to know what my answer would be, then I would give it to them, you know. I don't think that keeping things from people is really helping anyone. Could you imagine, like, you ask someone their honest opinion on something and they lie to you, and then, like, you know, years down the line, you figure out they lied about something that you had been going on about, and it's just like, that'd be heartbreaking, right? Would that not be worse than just telling someone up front and, you know, making them a little upset right at the outset? Like, if you knew something about someone, like, say you were going into a business with someone or something like that, and you knew somebody that was interested in going into this business with you, and you told your friend, hey man, I'm about to go and open this business and we're going to sell pies. And this dude that I know, his name is James. He's going to be a partner with me and he's going to come and sell pies with me. He's going to put in some financial investment. And say I was talking to somebody about that and I asked them their opinion, and they know James, and James is not a very reliable person. And they just say, that's cool, man. Oh man, I'm happy for you. That's going to be great. Knowing that James is going to ruin things for you because they're not a reliable person. And then you get into your business and then like 1-2 years later, you go bankrupt. You've got to like file bankruptcy. You're underwater. Your house is falling apart. You're losing your marriage because you've lost all your money. Like, you're like, man, I should have told you about James before you did all this. Like, I would be I would be so mad. Wouldn't you be mad? Like, that would be worse than just being like, hey, I know this guy, James. I know you're super hype about opening your pie shop, but you may want to reconsider your partner. Like, you know, just why? Don't lie. It's easy. And I think that especially if like there's something that you don't want to say, you still have the ability to decline to answer. You know, you could just say, you know, that's not something I'm comfortable with answering or talking about or whatnot. And that would be better than like giving a lie of omission and just be like, oh, for example, if I'm like, hey, I'm going to go and date Jessica. What do you think about her? And just be like, oh, I think she's great. And, you know, Jessica got some skeletons in the closet or something, you know, something that you might want to consider, but you just don't say anything about it. It's better to just be like, no, that's not something I'm comfortable answering, or like, that's not something I'm going to talk about. It's like, you know, strongly decline to answer if you don't want to answer it, and not just like leave it nebulous and floating about for someone else to figure out later on down the line. You know what I mean? And I've also never been a really big fan of the little white lie. Oh, well, you know, I said it to, you know, just make you feel better. That wouldn't make me feel better if, like, especially if you like go back to the does this make me look fat question and be like, oh, baby, it makes you look amazing. Like, oh man, like, and you don't actually believe that. That's pretty, I don't know. That's probably up for debate. That's like me. I'm like, I know I'm fat, and people keep saying, oh no, you're not fat, you're just really tall. And that really just aggravates me. Like, I just want to strike everyone that says that. Like, I know I'm fat, just tell me. Like, I got it already. But you know, everybody's gotta, you know, coddle everyone's feelings nowadays. So they think that, you know, sharing the truth with someone is just 100% detrimental and is never helpful in any situation. So no one tells the truth anymore. But that's a whole different story. I can go off on a tangent about that, which I will not. Well, what do you think? Is there ever a time where it's okay to lie to someone? When would that time be? If you think it's okay to lie to someone every once in a while, hit the like button so that way I know to scrutinize everything that you tell me, because I might not know if you're being truthful or not. And if you think that there's never a good time to lie to someone, hit the like button to know that we are kindred spirits in the truth telling, and that I can count on you to be really just straightforward with me. So either way, hit the like button if you've ever spoken to someone at all. But that's it for today. I will catch you guys on the morrow. Again, starting my 30-day juice cleanse of politics, so I don't want to hear anything about anything at all, period. It's going to be so nice to just let that all go. Who knows? I'll probably be dragged back into it, so we'll see. But anyways, that's it. I will catch you all tomorrow for the next question of the day. Until then, peace.